And we're live. Welcome to Tint Wisdom number 9. My name is Eric. We do this every single week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, going over best practices for tint businesses, best ways to improve your business, answer any questions. So go ahead and use the comments if you have any questions, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it after. Anything from the comments gets answered, and it's the best way to interact and get your questions answered. So I'm going to jump right in. We have a lot to cover today. And today's topic is going to be actually from a comment that was left during last week's Tint Wisdom. It's by Braden, and it says, do you have any suggestions for promoting a business? So that's going to be today's topic. Before we jump into today's topic, I do want to go over some Facebook posts that I spotted throughout the week that I feel are really important, that I think are lessons to be learned. So let's go ahead and start with a rant. It's not going to be my rant. So I took the name off of this post because I don't want to put anybody on blast. But this is a rant that a window tinter posted that I'm friends with. And they said, please do me a favor, friends. Do not ask me for a deal or try to work a deal. Agree to it and start the work and then back out because you need to save money, and every other post is you wasting money. I will never do business with you after. Okay, so the point of this is, obviously something went down that was like not the greatest situation. However, you can be sure it's probably not going to happen twice. This probably isn't something that's like rampant, whatever happened here. So what I'm saying is, this is the kind of thing that like it's unfortunate it happened, but there's no reason to share it. You're not going to get absolutely anything out of sharing it. I doubt like what are you doing? Putting your friends on notice that like don't take advantage of your friendship, or like I don't know. I just don't think like there's ever a reason to rant online. Like I get it, it left a bad taste in your mouth and you wanted to get it out, but every other way you can think of other than posting it online is going to be a better decision for your company. So yeah, I do see, this isn't the only rant. People rant all the time about their customers and about situations. And, like I said, your customer base, is probably not some of the people might be friends with you on Facebook, but a lot of the people are just calling your business, and they're not going to see that. And, any unfortunate situations you want to minimize. You don't want to amplify those. So there's just never a reason, just don't rant on your Facebook page or on your business page or anywhere for that matter. Just put it in the past and move on. So this question was in the Window Tinters United group, and it says, what do you do about an installer who cuts wrong film, creases film, and is not careful, especially when he is upset? You can't prove he's doing this on purpose, but it seems to be toxic. So this is an easy one. You fire him. Now, I say that because of the wording you used here. It sounds like you've drawn quite the conclusion, and if what you say here is the case, then there's no reason to keep somebody like that around. Now, what you need to be sure of is that this is actually the case. So what I mean by that is, first of all, what is the skill of the person? Are they kind of new? Why do you think they're doing it on purpose? Is their work typically good and sometimes it's bad? And if that's the case, not firing them right away and maybe talking to them and seeing what's causing the frustration. Is it something you're doing? Is it something related to the company? Is it a place that you need to improve? Did you do something wrong? Maybe it's your fault as the business owner. So, I think the answer to this question really is, if this is the case, if you have an employee who's doing this sort of thing, you want to try to understand why the employee is doing that. But if that's the nature of their personality, no question about it, you have to get rid of them. You're only going to be as strong as your weakest link, really, and you don't want to be dragging around weak links. Team members, part of your business should be strengths for you. They should be people you trust. They should be people that are always out to put your business best foot forward. And if it's toxic, you get rid of them and you start to look for somebody new as quickly as possible. So the next one is also in Window Tinters United. It says, let's hear it. How much per hour do you pay window tinters? I pay $15. Now this is also from Atif, which is who was just saying about the toxic employee. So the problem I have with this per hour, how much do you pay tinters? First of all, awesome for asking the question. He's obviously seeking to better his business, and there's never, it's never a problem to ask a question. Good job asking the question. But by asking the question, you're kind of exposing maybe a place to improve your business, because if you're saying you pay $15 an hour, like, I know tinters that are worth less than $15 an hour that think they're tinters, but they're really maybe helpers. And then I know tinters that are worth way more than $15 an hour. So if you're paying a fixed rate at $15 an hour, you're going to miss out on a lot of good talent, and you're probably going to bring in and maybe overpay people that aren't even qualified tinters and frustrate yourself. So, you know, with window tinting, there are tinters that can do a car flawlessly in an hour. There are tinters that'll take 3 hours. There are tinters that like to take 3 hours, and there are tinters that like to take 45 minutes. That can lead to a different output in money for your business for the day. So if you have a tinter who can, you know, maybe they're even upselling, or maybe they're just installing, but they can do, you know, 8 cars in a day by themselves, or you have a tinter that can do 2. That's going to provide a different amount of revenue for your business. Therefore, it definitely deserves a different amount of pay. So $15 an hour might be why you're finding people that are toxic. But, you know, not to say you couldn't pay them a lot and he'd still be toxic. So what I'm saying is try to evaluate the skill, what the person brings to the table as a package, and then try to pay accordingly based on, you know, what they're going to be able to provide your business, and they are going to, you know, earn accordingly. So this one is by Mark Porter, and he said, I love it when I sell a commercial job and see my competitors' samples still on the glass. So congrats on the sale, Mark Porter. Very well done. You know, what stood out to me about this is something that I encounter a lot of times when we're doing demos for Tint Wiz, is the way a lot of tinters are doing it when they're going out to a flat glass quote is they're measuring everything, they're going over all the samples with the client, and then they're letting the client know that the client will get their proposal, their quote, a day later, later that day, 2 days later, or whatnot. And that is opening up the opportunity for other tinters to come in, give the quote right there on the spot, and sell the job. You know, you can't be leaving without giving a quote. Why don't you know the price? Why can't you calculate it quickly? Like, there's definitely ways to do it right on the spot. You should be doing it on the spot. That's why the customer took the time to bring you there. The reason they called you out there was to get a price. So you went out there, they agreed to spend 30 minutes to an hour with you. You spent that time with them, but they didn't get their price. And, you know, there was no reason they didn't get their price. And you leaving can open up for another quote to come in. So let me paint a couple different scenarios for you. You go in, you give a quote right there on the spot, you sell the job. The customer had a couple other quotes lined up. He or she calls the other tint company and say, hey, I no longer need you to come out for consultation. I already got a tinter to do it. That probably's happened to you. Well, if that tinter that went out there and secured the job would have said, hey, I'll send you the quote, they sent it 2 or 3 days later, you might have gone in, given another quote. Maybe you gave the quote on the spot, maybe you're going to send it a few days later. But do you understand the difference, the trickle-down difference that can come into effect? So when you talk about making more money, when you talk about being more efficient, you know, you already went out there, you took the measurements, you spent the time, you gave the samples. Don't leave, okay? Don't leave. Sell the job right there on the spot. When you're there, and you provide the customer the quote, they're going to have questions. They're going to see the price. They're going to wonder. They might still have questions about the film. They might have questions about the price. Why is it so much? Or, you know, but if you're there to answer those questions, you're way better off than if you left. Because if you left, that customer may not even ever ask you those questions. They may just call another tint company to get a second opinion. So sell the job on the spot. Quoting before you leave is absolutely, absolutely important. So, pull up. So the next one is, hey everyone, I've opened a new shop and was wondering what discounts and promotions to run, if any, loyalty cards and so on. So this is a very common question. It's a great question. And, you know, what I want to point out is, you know, typically it's a new shop, so you think, what kind of promotion can I do to get people to come in? It's a valid thought. However, let me show you the problem, the kink in that thought process. A brand new shop, like, while a promotion might get somebody in, the problem typically is you're a brand new shop, so nobody even knows about you. So while you're thinking, what kind of promotion should I offer to get customers in, really what you should be thinking is, how do I get customers to be aware that my business exists? Because you can offer tint for free, but if you post it on your Facebook page and you have no following, then nobody's going to see it. So no matter what offer you put out there, you know, it's really more about the exposure. So focus more on exposure, not about offers, because it's tough to get exposure, to get your business out there. It does take some work, and that is the topic of today's video. And when somebody does happen to see your company and you are able to reach them, maybe through a paid ad, you don't want to sell yourself short. Like, you spent that time and money to get in front of the customer. You don't want to do some sort of crazy discount now to just get them in, because you want to earn their business, but you still need to make money on the job. It is always important to have enough of a markup in your service that you're able to pay your employees well, that you're able to have a nice presentation, and so on. So, and also to have enough money for marketing. So again, don't look to discount your services. Think more, how can you get more awareness about your services? And again, that's going to be today's topic. So appropriate post for this week. The next one is, who does what for cold leads? I invested $900 into Google Smart Campaign ads. Was a waste. Now I did 900 Google ads. Was a waste. Now I did 900 into Google ads, but call only campaigns. Okay, so they did a $900 Google regular campaign ad, and then they did a $900 call only campaign. And call only campaign is when the only option is to call. There is no option to click. It's a mobile focused campaign, and it's a great way to narrow down your ad budget to just people that are ready to actually call and get in touch. So anyone done similar? Facebook paid ads don't work. Fully exhausted all organic routes. So here's the deal. If you fully exhausted all organic routes, you wouldn't be asking about paid ads, because you would be so busy you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. You wouldn't be posting on Facebook. So don't for one second think that you've exhausted all organic ads now, or all organic routes rather. Now, the comment before that, Facebook paid ads don't work. Yeah, Facebook ads definitely work. So that's completely wrong. And what you should be aware of is you might not know how to do Facebook ads correctly. And that's often something I see, like a trend. You're going to see Yelp sucks. Yelp's awesome. Home Advisor sucks. It's a waste of money. No, Home Advisor's awesome. You're going to see both sides of the coin from tinters. And, like I always say, your job is to figure out who knows what they're talking about. And what often happens is somebody's good at Yelp, or somebody's good with Facebook, and then they won't be good with another platform like Home Advisor or so on, because all the platforms take different skills to maximize the potential from them. So what often happens is you don't know what you don't know. So you tried Facebook, you think you did everything you could, so your assessment of the situation is that Facebook ads don't work. Facebook ads definitely work. That's how Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar company. It's based on their ads. Google ads definitely work. Now, are Google ads tricky to run efficiently in 2019? Absolutely. You can blow your money super quick on any ad platform, but especially Google ads, because it's so competitive currently. So Braden just actually commented, I spent $15 on Facebook ads and I received about 10 leads. So how could that be possible? Facebook ads don't work. Well, obviously they do. I'm being sarcastic. So, Joe, I do want to answer your question, of course. Who does what for cold leads? I invested $900 into smart campaigns, wasted it, and so on. So what I recommend is, between Google and Facebook, the strength of Google would be if you do these long tail keywords that are very specific. So what you don't want to do with Google is you don't want to target general words like tint and window tint, because what's going to happen there a lot of times is you're going to get just a crazy amount of clicks, and you might, you get a lot of price shoppers, and you might say, hey, I got a lot of calls, but I didn't sell anybody. You can try it, but if you find yourself in that scenario, try longer tail keywords such as home window tinting. Home window tinting is somebody looking specifically for home window tint. You're going to get a lot less tire kickers. Or if you even search ceramic window tinting, somebody informed enough to be searching about ceramic window tinting is very likely to be a ceramic window tint purchaser, and you already know if that's for a car, you're looking at $300 plus, maybe $600-700. And if it's for a home, obviously it can just be dependent on the size of the home, but definitely in the thousands of dollars, most likely for partial of any reasonable sized home with a quality ceramic film. So using longer tail keywords for Google is definitely the route, and then also putting negative keywords. So negative keywords can be keywords related to things you don't want. So what can happen is if you put keywords like tint in there, you're going to get people looking for like face makeup tint. So a silly example would be you could do a negative keyword of like makeup. So if somebody searches tint and makeup, your ad doesn't show up. But really what you should be searching is, or what you should be targeting is longer tail keywords such as, like I said, home window tinting, ceramic window tinting, and so on. And then negative keywords become less and less important. But you should always look into your Google campaign, see what keywords people are actually finding you based on. And then if any of them are irrelevant, then you can go ahead and exclude them. Like one example could be do-it-yourself. So somebody might put do-it-yourself home window tinting. And while that certainly could be a valuable lead for your business, because oftentimes people find out they don't actually want to do it themselves, do-it-yourself may be a keyword that you just say, hey, if you type in DIY, I don't want you to see my ad. I'm not going to waste money on you. And I want to really minimize the amount of clicks I'm getting to highly targeted potential clients. So that's Google Ads. Facebook, Facebook, you can run it a couple ways. Facebook, you can think either you want to build a brand in your area, or you can think I want to do a transactional ad. I want to say, hey, this is my service. I want to show it to people within a few miles, maybe people who just purchased a new car, and I expect people to see my stuff, see that the service I provide, ask me for a quote, sell them on it. You can definitely do that on Facebook all day long. It's a great platform to reach people right around you, even by specific type of car. So for example, you could make a Facebook post about a BMW M3 and then target M3 owners within a 3-mile, 5-mile radius of your business, 10-mile radius of your business, and that can be transactional. It can also be more branding. So you can also put those posts out, and instead of specifically saying what your service is and how to contact you and so on, you could put more, content that's focused more on just promoting your work, just showing your work. You're not, pushing for a sale or so on. You're just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Check it out. It's beautiful stuff. And, that hits a different type of consumer that over time will see the type of work you do. They'll form their own opinion on you and go ahead and hopefully use your service. So 2 ways to look at it. You can make a post and say, hey, use us. We're the absolute best window tinting service in this area. Or you can make a post and say, hey, check out my work. And then based on the quality of the work and your passionate description of what you've done, the consumer can form their own opinion saying, wow, looks like the best window film company I've ever seen, or best in the area. So, 2 ways to look at it. You can tell the customer what you are and pound it into their head, or you can try to get them to figure it out on their own. There's no, right or wrong way. Do whatever works for you or whatever seems more natural. Certainly the transactional is going to provide an immediate return for you, while the branding can be a longer term play. The transactional typically also targets lower paying clients where the branding can bring you those customers who, they're not asking about price. They just know what they want. They know that you're the right shop for them. They're sold on you before they got there. And, so that's the 2 sides of the coin. So, Joe, hopefully that helps you. So Nathan Mills, who makes blister-free or comparable product for Plexi? I have partitions to do for interior use, and they want them smoked. Any help would be appreciated. So, this is pretty straightforward. The first answer by Mike Watson, Matico has a blister-free. This is right on the money. Matico's blister-free is what you want to do. Anybody can buy that Matico blister-free from them. So what it is it's a clear film that you put down on plexiglass before you put down a window film. So typically you want to let that film cure for at least a few days before you put the film on top of it. It acts as like a middle film. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep the film from bubbling. So plexiglass off-gases over time. And what that means is if you put a traditional film on there, that film will typically bubble over time. And then what's going to happen is because of the adhesive, it may be very, very difficult for you to remove. So, and once you leave adhesive on plexiglass, you can't remove it with a blade like you would on glass. You'll just scratch the plexi. So blister-free is a layer that goes in between window film and the plexi, and it adheres to the plexi, and then the window film adheres to the blister-free, and it keeps it from the off-gassing from causing those bubbles. So blister-free is definitely, if you're doing flat glass, it's probably not going to be a film you use all the time, but you should have it in your arsenal, know what to do. Sunrooms often have plexiglass in them. There's also obviously a lot of commercial applications. One-way mirror plexi is a common one. Dispensaries, banks, and so on. Well, maybe not banks, but supermarkets, security scenarios. In LA, you probably do, they do like hidden camera shows, oftentimes have that one-way mirror. And like I said, your most common application is going to be like sunrooms where they do curved glass or curved plexi and so on. Blister free is what you need in your arsenal. So make sure you grab a roll. It's going to come in handy, and that's made by Matico. I believe it's a 2 mil thick film, a little on the thicker side. So Arturo put, well, after 8 years, my first time happened 27th of September. Bill was $500, paid by card. Now October 21st, they filed for non-authorized charges. It's on dispute. What do I expect? What could I do? Pretty much, I feel it's lesson learned. So the lesson learned here is hopefully you did everything you could to now win this chargeback. So what this is called is a chargeback. You know, when you have a credit card as a consumer, one of the benefits to having a credit card is that they protect you. They protect you from anything basically you're not happy with. So even if you're not happy with a service, a lot of credit cards will protect you from having to pay for it. You know, that is part of what you agree to as a window film company or as a company accepting those merchant agreements, accepting the ability to take Visa, MasterCard, American Express. This is part of life. This is normal. So I'm going to go through all the things you can do to make sure that most of the time you're going to win the chargeback and give yourself the absolute best chances. With that said, just understand sometimes you're going to lose chargebacks. Think of it as theft. It's no different than somebody walking into your retail store and putting something in their pocket, walking out, or even if you owned a coffee shop, if they were to spill their coffee or insist that that's not what they ordered, you're just going to swallow it, make another one. This is kind of no different. There's always going to be people that are trying to scam the system. So here's what you can do to best win this chargeback. First and foremost, anytime you receive a credit card, you want to swipe it if that's an option. So you could type it in, you type in the numbers, or you can swipe it. If swiping it's an option, that's going to go in your favor because it shows that the card was present at the time of the purchase versus you typing in the card. Next thing is going to be getting a signature from the customer. The signature, if they use their actual signature, is also going to be proof that yes, in fact, it was the customer that signed for it. So you always want to get a signature, get the card swiped, get a signature if possible. From there, you always want to have pictures of the car. Before and after pictures, maybe even the VIN and the license plate can come in handy. So I'll give you an example. So here I'm in the Tint Wiz app, and you know, if let's say we get a chargeback and it's from Miss Tierra Prosacco and she's not happy with our service, I can pull her up in Tint Wiz. I can click on her project, which was for her Model 3 Tesla. I can see the day and time it was done. I can also see the price, and then of course I can pull up pictures, I can pull up the VIN and so on. So these pictures are going to be always in your records, and they're going to be proof to your credit card company that you can attach when you're replying to the chargeback to show that this car was in your shop. This is the time it was started, this is how it looked before it was started, this is how it looked after it started, and this is the service performed. So for window film, for example, if it's a not authorized, now you've been able to show that you performed the service, that the card was present, that there was a signature, and hopefully that signature matches. That's a lot of proof to your card company that the customer was there. You know, it's no guarantee that you're going to win, but these are the kind of things that go in your favor. So make sure you always have before and after pictures. Make sure when you can, you go ahead and scan it and so on. You go ahead and swipe that card. And, you know, another topic that comes up often is which credit card processor to use. And I just kind of like to point out that, you know, I like Square a lot. I think Square and QuickBooks are two of the absolute best ways to charge people. WePay is another good one. But the reason I like these is because they give you easy card readers. You can put them on any phone. You can put them on an iPad. It's easy to swipe somebody's card. It's right then and there. And, you know, the whole process is easy versus a card, you know, an old school card reader where you're typing it in, or a digital service that may offer low rates, but you have to, you know, type it in every time. Also, when you're looking at merchant accounts, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that'll send you like a ZA machine, like the machine you type in the numbers, you swipe the card, and just make sure you read the fine print. A lot of those companies sign you up for a 3 or 4 year like lease on that equipment, that if you're not happy with their service and you want to cancel in a year or two, you end up paying a crazy amount for that machine. So, you know, like I said, Square, QuickBooks, WePay, those are the go-to, and Square really is, to me, the best one. They give you a whole register scenario. And then for flat glass, I would use QuickBooks. That way, everyone you're invoicing always, goes out through QuickBooks. You can also use QuickBooks for automotive. They're really both great systems. So, moving on to this one. Most of us don't have an income problem. We have a spending problem. So this post was by Daniel in the Window Film Revolution group. And basically what he's saying here, when winter came, I was Ubering. Why? Because I spent all the money I had on liabilities instead of assets that didn't save for winter, which is our slow season. I then changed my perspective on money, and sure, my income has increased over the years, but I now save at least 10% of my income. So he doesn't have to, basically he can live comfortably through the winter and not worry about being slow. This is absolutely the move, guys. You definitely have to understand that your revenue as a business is a total year. It's how you do across a year. Tinting is somewhat seasonal. Of course, you can stay busy in the winter. However, you're probably not going to be as busy in January as you are in July, no matter what you do. So managing your finances accordingly, look at it over the course of the year. Don't spend your money week to week or month to month. Try to set a budget. And then also the other really, really important takeaway from here is you have to budget for marketing. You have to build it into your price structure. You have to budget it. If you take the money, if everything that comes in on a weekly basis is in your pocket, you're not going to really understand or want to part with that money because, as you make more money, you find ways to spend it. It's natural. You're not doing anything wrong, but, you need a car, your wife needed something, your kids needed something. You're always just trying to pay the bills. So if you don't work it into your pricing structure or at least take it out of some of your revenue and say, this is going to go to marketing. It's tougher for you to part with that money and spend it on things that you feel maybe, aren't going to give you a return. Not that you should be spending it on things you don't think are going to give you a return. But what I'm saying is Facebook ads, Google ads, they do take trial and error. There's nothing wrong with that. So, you do have to get comfortable with putting a little money out there and learning from that experience and then adjusting and continuing to move forward and investing in your business over time. So, Daniel, great advice. This is just really great advice. Nothing to say, but this is just not a post that you should miss, and definitely one that I think everyone should follow along with. So, jumping into today's topic. Today's topic is, from Urban Tinting. This is something that Brandon commented in last week's post, last week's Tint Wisdom, and basically he was asking, do you have any suggestions for promoting tint? Promoting a new tint business. His is a new tint business. He just asked for a business in general. My response was the top 5 are without a doubt Google My Business listing, your website, your Yelp, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, I even would go as far as to say, depending on your skill set, that's actually probably the best order, or one of the best order. Again, it depends on your skill set. So if you're great at making videos, then of course YouTube should move up that list. If you're comfortable with a website, then your website, I think is appropriately placed. And if you don't know what you're doing, or you do know what you're doing, Google My Business listings are the #1 place for everybody. So Braden was actually nice enough to let me use his business as an example for this week's Tint Wisdom. So I'm going to go through it and just kind of go through what he's doing right, what he could be improving on, and just be as honest as possible, and let's get these things corrected. So first things first, if you search for window tinting in Utah using the zip code of his business, I want to show you what comes up and in what order. First things first are the Google local listings. So these are those business listings that I put at the top priority of that list, and you can see why. They are the first thing you see, and they're beautiful listings showing the 5-star rating, or 4-star, 5-star, whatever rating you've earned as a business. Below that, you're getting organic searches. So in this search, we didn't get any paid ads. We didn't get any paid ads on this search. We got the Google business listings first, and then we got the organic search. So first thing is Sunset Custom Tint. This is their website. Then we have a Better Business Bureau listing. So Better Business Bureau listing is really a great example of how it benefits you to be everywhere you can possibly be. Because when I click on this, what this is a summary of all the businesses that are listed with the Better Business Bureau for car window tinting. This is kind of like a Yelp page. So what this is, hey, these are all the listings for Better Business Bureau, and this page ranks because Better Business Bureau has a high rank authority. So what that means is if you're listed on the Better Business Bureau, and if you rank as one of the first businesses on their listings, this is a way to hack the second place listing on the Google search results, because the first right now is taken by Sunset Custom Tinting. The second is taken by Better Business Bureau. And when we click on that, what do we see? Oh, look, that's Sunset Window Tinting coming up for the Better Business Bureau as well. Below that, Hi-Fi Tint Shop. Now, see the difference between the first and second? Right off the bat, Sunset has their logo. Even so, it's stretched out and doesn't look as perfect as it could. You can see that it automatically stands out above, the one below it. And then as you go, you see the ratings, A+, and this one's accredited, and you can request a quote. That's because they paid. Simple as that. So yeah, you have to pay them to pay to play, but why not? This thing probably costs them about $400 to $500 a year to be there with their logo and everything, and that's almost guaranteed why they're showing first above Hi-Fi Tint Shop. So it is showing by distance too, but you definitely, by rating as well, like no doubt about it, you want to be listed on the Better Business Bureau, and this is a good reason of why. So going back to the Google search results, the third listing is Yellow Pages. So here it is again, best 30 car window tinting in that city that I won't butcher, in Ogden, Utah. So again, this is Yellow Pages' summary of best tint companies in that area. So another way now to hack the third place position in the window tinting search results of Google. So the first thing we see up here are 2 ads. As you can see, these people didn't even take advantage of their ad. They suck. No, I'm just kidding. You don't suck, but I mean, I don't understand why you're paying for ads and you didn't even put a picture. Nothing, not a single picture. Look at the top 3 results. Which one stands out to you? It's this one, Sunset Window Tinting again, because they put a picture. And this is, I'm sure they're paying, but this at least isn't an ad. They're just paying, but they're just listed on the list. This is a paid ad up here. So if you're running a paid ad, you should have pictures. You should have everything as perfect as possible. So below the paid ads, you can see Sunset Window Tinting again. Now, what I've shown you so far is Sunset so far is dominating the first 3 positions on Google, and only one of them is on their website. But because they did their diligence and got not only listed, but filled in information on these other listing sites, such as Yellow Pages and Better Business Bureau, you can see they're also reaping the rewards of that. So as we go down, we see Valley Glass also did a picture, also looks like they filled everything in. They even had products, which Sunset Window Tinting didn't do. But their big mistake right here, they weren't proactive with their reviews. And why I'm saying that is because they got 1 review for 2 stars. 1 review. If you get a 2-star review and it's your only review, your whole mission in life after that should be to get a 5-star review on your Yellow Pages ad to bring up that average to 4 stars, eventually 4.5, and then backed up to 5. You only have 1 review. If you get 3 more reviews with a 5-star, you're going to be 4.5 to 5 stars that quickly. So this looks terrible. You do not want to see a 2-star review, even if it was just 1 review, even if the review doesn't look credible. Whatever the case, you get a 1-star or 2-star review, you need to be getting more reviews. That's why, in general, it's important to be proactive with your reviews because, number 1, they bring you more business. Number 2, they help soften the blow of a bad review, oftentimes a fake review that you just cannot understand how you have this review and how these listing sites keep it up. Well, it happens, so you might as well prepare by getting good reviews in advance. And I think somebody who's doing that, you can see California Audio didn't go through the trouble of even adding pictures, but they have 10 reviews. I'm sure that goes a long way with them. Drive-in audio sound, we have everything. We even have a deal. This is a beautiful listing. They have a video. They have everything going for them. So Drive-in audio, great. Now, what I'm seeing here is, or what we are not seeing here is, we're not seeing urban tinting anywhere. So we didn't see urban tinting on the Better Business Bureau. We didn't see urban tinting on the Yellow Pages, and I'm already at number 30. So I would just venture to say that they're not even listed on the Yellow Pages at all. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 is Yelp. Top 10 Yelp car window tinting. Now, typically Yelp ranks number 1. So this is kind of a rare case, but again, we can see that out of the first 4 results, 1 of them is a tint shop, but 4 of them, or so far 3 of them, are about the same tint shop. Now let's check out the 4th. This is Yelp's overview. So Tinted of Utah, RG Window Tint, Ogden Window Tinting, A Hint of Tint, American Window Tinting. So you can see some quite different results, and here is urban tinting. So first thing I'll point out with urban tinting, where's the pictures? Pictures are free to add. Why are there no pictures? Has to be pictures. You're number 8. If I'm a customer and I'm going tinted of Yuha, RG Window Tint, Ogden Window Tinting, I'm probably calling these 4 to get a price, okay? Going down, probably, maybe I'll call this one Tint Connection 1, solar image, no reviews. If I'm on Yelp, I'm looking for a company good with good reviews. Then I'm getting to urban tinting. I have 0 reason to click on this company, okay? So other than I want to show you guys what could be improved. That's the only reason anybody would click on this company. So you can see here, there's no pictures. There is a category. There is a description by Braden, so you can see that he did claim the page. He didn't add his picture in there. You know, even just like the picture of Braden in here shows me what he looks like. People are going to relate to him. Maybe I kind of look like him. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm a woman, I think he's attractive. Maybe I'm a man, I think he's attractive. Whoever you are and you think he's attractive, that might be a reason you pick this company. You may go with him because of his friendly smile. It may ensure more trust into feeling like you know who you're going to be. It's one important piece of the puzzle. Now, you can see there's no reviews on this page. You can see he's not advertising, so this page does show ads. Now, I can understand why he's not advertising. My interpretation of urban tinting is this is a secondary business for Braden. And Braden, correct me if I'm wrong, but secondary business, maybe like something kind of more part-time, but you do have a full-time job during the day. Part of what made me feel that way is that, you know, his hours. His hours are 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., and then Saturday and Sunday open 24 hours. So this is kind of a tricky thing here. Now, I understand that you're saying, hey, I have to do this as a secondary job, so I'm actually tinting in I'm tinting from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. But this is not how you should have your hours set up, okay? Because Yelp is going to show, like if you search for window tinting, Yelp is going to show you companies that are like open for business right now. Like that's going to be one of the factors that they play. They're not going to want to show you a bunch of closed businesses because they know you probably want to contact one of the businesses. So, you know, most people are probably searching during the day for window tinting. So like being closed during the day, there's just no reason. I would say, you know, even if you have a voicemail, like worst case scenario, you're better off having your hours from like 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Than having, like saying you're closed during those hours. Now I do kind of like having your hours to the absolute latest time you possibly can, because there are customers that at 8:30 p.m. they're looking for window tint. They see that you're open, they'll call you. That's business that you might have only got because you were open at that time. That doesn't mean you have to be tinting the windows at 8:30 p.m. It just means you're going to answer the phones at 8:30 p.m. I mean, even if it's going to go to voicemail, as long as you call them back, like it's probably going to work in your benefit more than it's going to work against you. So I would definitely recommend larger hours. Again, the hours can work here because he's mobile and he doesn't have an address listed here, so you don't run the risk of somebody showing up. If you have a business like address here, you know, you can't really play with the hours because people are going to just show up at your business at the times that you say you're open, and that's rightfully so. And if you're not open, they're probably going to be upset. They're probably going to leave a bad review for you saying, I wasted my time, drove all the way here, they were closed, blah, blah, blah. So if you're a mobile shop, you definitely want to do hours. Even if you're a mobile shop, definitely can do a Yelp page just like Braden did here. And you can see you don't have to put an address. You can just put a service area. With that said, expand your service area out there. See what comes to you. You know, maybe your service area is 10 miles, but maybe it could be 15. If you're looking for business, try to make it as far as possible. Earn as much business as you can, especially getting started. The more business you can get, the more reviews you're going to get, the more pictures you can get, and so on. The other thing is pictures and videos. Like, pictures are free to add. Every car you tint, take at least 5 before pictures, at least 5 to 10 after pictures, save them in Tint Wiz. It's free to save them there, and then upload them into Yelp every single time. When you're uploading them, make sure you include captions. Those are going to help them come up in Google search. Next thing is, so Braden said, we'll get backlash from customers because I don't tint until 5 p.m. You know, it's true. You might get backlash from customers, but it depends on how you handle it. So what you can do is you can say your hours are, let's say, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And if a customer says, hey, I want to get my car tinted at 9 a.m., well, you can say, look, we do have 9 a.m. open on Saturday and Sunday. However, during the week, our office hours are from 10 a.m. to, or from 9 a.m., whatever it is during the day. But, you know, we don't tint cars during the week at that time. We just have office hours. We provide quotes, we provide estimates, and so on. But we actually tint cars during the week during these hours, or on the weekend during these hours. Certainly, you're going to have a couple customers here and there that are like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But in the bigger picture, you're going to scoop in more customers with that wider net than you're going to turn away. Having hours that say 5 to 10 p.m. are weird. Like, it's weird as a tint company, so it's weird as any company. Not many businesses are open from 5 to 10 p.m. So like, not for automotive at least. So like, you don't necessarily, like, look, I'm just saying this is one factor that plays into how customers perceive your business and how wide of a net you cast trying to get customers. You can definitely stick to that if you don't want to be explaining yourself. But in this case, I think there is a good reason. You can say your office hours and so on, play it by ear. And I think, like I said, overall, you're going to get more business than you're going to lose. Add pictures in here, get reviews. Okay, something to point out when we look at all the customers. All the businesses. Okay, number 1, 3 reviews, 2 reviews, 1 review, 12 reviews, 1 review. How long would it take you to be the number 1 reviewed company in the area? Like, what, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I mean, if you got 5 reviews, you would have 30% more than the number 1 position here. You would be the second highest rated, the second most rated and the first highest rated, because you'd be 5 stars. Out of everybody. Like, this is a market, this Utah market is one where you could dominate Yelp. You could absolutely dominate Yelp. So make yourself the standout company. You be the one that has 1,000 pictures uploaded to your profile or 100 pictures uploaded to your profile. Because look, Tinted of Utah, I don't know what Utah is. Tinted of Utah has 31 pictures. That means, what if you have 150 pictures? You're automatically a better shop to somebody looking at these pictures because they feel like, all right, you do a lot of cars. So pictures, they're free. Every picture you have on Yelp is a possible result in Google search. They show up in Google search images too. So when people are looking for window tinting and they're looking for pictures, the more pictures you have on Yelp, the more you're taking up Google search. So I mean, Yelp's a gold mine, absolute gold mine. All right, let's go from Yelp. We got Home Advisor. So Home Advisor, best window tinting company services. Again, this is now another aggregate. Home Advisor aggregating the top window film companies that are listed on Home Advisor. And then what happens is they're going to show some pre-screened companies, shaded glass, and that they have 13 reviews and 5 stars. Or you can go ahead and they'll type in their zip code, and then your lead gets submitted to Home Advisor, and then that goes out to either 1 Home Advisor company or 3, and then they'll pay anywhere from $12 to $20 for that lead, and so on. That's why Home Advisor, like, let's just say you're new and you're like, all right, I can't get on the top searches. It's going to be a while, and I'm doing my best, but right now I'm not showing up 1 to 4. Well, here's the opportunity to get in at number 5 just by being on Home Advisor. So you can see being on these listing sites is super helpful. After this is Glasshopper Auto Glass. This is a tint company, a glass company that does tint. Then we have a Groupon. I don't recommend Groupon. That's a whole video on its own. But for window tinters, I don't recommend Groupon. I recommend Groupon for like even detailers. Groupon's great to get people in the door to experience your business. But you have to very strongly be able to convert them into a second, third, fourth, fifth time customer, a repeating customer, or else the discount you give on Groupon isn't going to work in your favor. Because the way Groupon typically works is you're going to need to discount your service by 50%, and then you're going to get 50% of that 50%, and Groupon's going to keep the other half. So what you end up with is a $200 tint job, you'll get like $50, $60, and that puts you out of the money. So the benefit there is, like, if you're, think like a restaurant, you say, hey, maybe they're going to eat a $40 meal, and I'm only going to get $10 for it, and I'd normally get $40. But once they taste my food, they're going to keep coming back and paying full price. Let's say you're a detailer and you say, I just want them to experience how clean their car could be. Once they do that once, they're going to be a repeating customer. Perfect. And as a car tint company or a home tint company, most likely once they use your service, they might come back to you, but it might be 2 years later, 4 years later, and so on. It could be for another car, it could be for a friend, but I don't think most of the time that's going to happen. In this case, they're also typically not the best upsells because people on Groupon are looking to spend the least amount of money possible. However, if you can work out a great upsell and you say, hey, I'll get them in the door on the Groupon because once they come in, 2 out of every 3 upsell, then you can do that too. But just be wary of Grouponers that then feel like that upsell is a bait and switch. You're going to have a whole nother nonsense on your hands when you're trying to upsell those Grouponers, but it could work. After that, you have Dexnose. Dexnose is another listing site. This one isn't showing an average of the results. It's just showing one of their results, which is sunset window tinting and paint protection. Again, this is why you need to be on here. And then Tinted of Utah below them. This is their Facebook page. So Facebook pages do show up in Google search, which is a reason why you do want to have a Facebook page. You do want to manage it properly, and we'll definitely go into what that means, because Facebook can even show up number 1. In this case, their page is showing up number 10. Look, this goes to show you there's a variety of ways to appear on the Google search page, and you can appear multiple times, and you should appear multiple times. There's a lot of ways to skin this apple, and you want to try all of them. You want to work at all of them. You want to see which ones stick, and you know, YouTube can come up on here, Angie's List. They all can show up on your Thumbtack and so on. So I want to jump into Urban Tint's website. So we didn't see Urban Tinting's website anywhere on the search results, and we don't see it anywhere on page 2. I already looked ahead. It is a clean looking website. I do like that. First and foremost, it has the phone number at the top. Website's, you know, white with pictures. I think the modern website is a white website for the most part. That's easy to read, and clear window film benefits. That's perfect. You know, right off the bat, welcome to Urban Tinting. We offer best quality and services. IR heat rejection, informing the customer of what that is, you know, privacy and so on. Now we have the About Me. There's their logo. Urban Tinting since 2019. So here's one example of addition by subtraction. If we delete this line right here, we leave it to their imagination how long we've been tinting. If we put it here, it's clear that we just opened the business. So in this case, this doesn't work for you, it works against you. So delete it. Everything you do, you have to go, does this work for me? Does this work against me? You only do the ones that work for you. Okay? I want to go back to a comment from Daniel Akoa. You can play with Groupon and bring them in and always upsell. For sure, you absolutely can. He's 100% correct. As I said, you upsell is one technique. If you can't turn them into a repeat customer, you can upsell them. But, you know, again, that is, to me, it's a sticky situation. It does work, but you do attract a certain type of customer with Groupon, and you do have to be okay with swallowing when you're doing that customer's vehicle for a very, very cheap amount of money, and they turn into the pickiest customer ever, and then they leave you potentially a bad review, and so on and so on. So just be wary with it. If you can manage it, that's definitely a strategy, and you know, whatever strategy works for you is a good strategy. So again, let's eliminate Urban Tinting since 2009. I don't think you should lie. I do think you should leave it up to their imagination. Our mission at Urban Tinting is simple: to provide high quality services for our valued client. That's perfect. A mission statement. Our team goes above and beyond to cater to each project's specific needs through open communication and exceptional service. We hope you find what you're looking for with Window Tinting service. For more information, general inquiries, get in touch today. Where you say get in touch today, it's a good place to put your phone number. You do have your phone number. I passed it at the top, but when you're telling somebody to get in touch, giving them the option to take action this second, making that extremely easy for them, is a best practice. So phone number, never hurts to have the phone number appearing multiple times. Then you have where to find us. You may not have us. We may not have as many clients as Hint of Tint or others, but between all of our competitors, we have a diverse team. You got to delete that. That is the worst thing ever. There's no reason you should be mentioning another competitor's company on your page. And this to me sounds like a lack of confidence in your services. So you're trying to like apologize for your business being new, and there's no reason to apologize. So like, you don't know the ins and outs of these businesses, and what you need to focus on is not what other tint shops are offering or how long they've been around or what they look like or what they're doing. You need to work on your strengths and improving your business. So some of your strengths are you're a low volume, high quality company. Okay, you obviously don't do a lot of cars. You're not going to pretend you do. So instead of apologizing for it, you could talk about how you take your time with every single car to make sure it's absolutely perfect for your customers, you know, and you're not, you know, you limit the amount of customers you have per day because you don't want to turn and burn them. You just want to, you know, ensure quality. You know, it's better than pointing out a weakness, I guess, or a weakness or something that could be perceived as a weakness. Then you can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and then there's a link to your Facebook page. That's cool. You're leading them to your Facebook page. So we'll figure out if that's a good idea or a bad idea once we look at your Facebook page. Because again, they're on your website. You're going to get them to make a click. Where is that click going? Because you're going to only get them to make a certain amount of clicks. And those clicks, every opportunity to get them to do something is an opportunity for you. So you got to make sure it's going to work in your favor. It's got to build yourself up, not down. So we'll see what's on the Facebook page. And then below it, notice all appointments require 50% deposit to hold the appointment. All deposits will be non-refundable. Neither here nor there. I wouldn't put that on the website. That's something that I would explain once the person is sold on the service. You want to take away as many reasons as possible for somebody not to call you or get in touch, put their information in. You want to take away as many reasons for them not to call you and give them as many reasons as possible to call you. Because here's the thing. Let's say out of 50 people come to your website, 49 call you, and one of them sees that and says, man, I'm not going to call. Even if it's 1 out of 50, wouldn't it have been better off if you didn't say that there, they contact you, you have the opportunity to win them over on your services because you're so charming, you're so informative, they love what you have to say, and then once they're sold and they want to schedule, you let them know that's perfect. You'll send them a link and they can go ahead and leave a deposit with that link and confirm their appointment and that it's non-refundable. I think that's something you leave till after they've been sold on your services, not something that you put in the way of them contacting you. The other thing that I think is would be a benefit in here would be an actual contact form. So where it says where to find us or where it says get in touch today, if you had a contact form like name, email, phone, and a message, right now when it says contact us, instead of calling, I could just type my information in. I'm the type of person who I'd rather type my information in than make that phone call. And I might even type in there, please contact me through text, because again, like I don't really like to make phone calls personally. So giving them the option to type in their information is really, really good. And then what I suggest you use for that is on the Tint Wiz app, you go to, pull this up, you go to lead forms, and in lead forms, you can create a lead form, and I'll show you an example of a lead form. So this is a lead form. You can embed this on your website so that this form will be on the website. So when people want to get in touch with you, they type in their information in that form. That information directly goes into Tint Wiz, and then you're alerted immediately on your phone through email and through app notification that you have a new lead. You can see what that information is. It's already in Tint Wiz. You just press the phone number button to either call, text, or email them. So definitely, Braden, you're going to want to embed this form. You're going to embed it using the code that's right here. This is the embed form. This is the link form. In this case, you'll want to use the embed form. And then if you want to change anything on the form, ask any other questions, change any of the text, you'll do that in the edit settings area. And there you can completely customize the form in every single way you can imagine. All right, so that's the website. Now let's jump from the website and let's see what the Facebook page has to offer. So this is Urban Tinting's Facebook page, and let's see, we have a little about us, which is good. 96 people like, 114 people follow. He's got the area of locate. All this looks good. All this looks good. Typically replies in a few hours. If you can improve your response time, that's definitely great. Photos, as we can see, the first post that shows up is October 20th, and you can see this post has absolutely no engagement in it. He's a new company, it's Facebook. That's not surprising. Now, what you see below that is a post from October 17th, and you can see this one has 78 comments and 15 shares and a few likes. Now, it has 78 comments. Now, those comments are all people asking for quotes, essentially, and then him replying. So this is incredible, and this is exactly what you need to see the difference between, like, posting on Facebook is not enough. you can't, anywhere these days, you have to spend some of your time making content and the rest of your time making sure you distribute that content. Making the content isn't enough. You spend all this time making a video or taking pictures and posting them and writing a caption, and then you move on to another one. Well, nobody's seeing that one if you're not promoting it in any sort of way or trying to build your following. So if you want to get something out of your work, it's not just going to happen. Your exposure organically is going to go down and down and down, and paid is going to be more and more important. So, and this is just the most perfect example. Now, there is room for improvement here. You can see people are asking for prices. Sometimes, you know, putting your price out there is not a bad idea. It is the way of the future. It is, you know, hiding prices is definitely like common and kind of a way of the past. And I think it's going to become less and less popular as people move towards more of an online sale, scheduling online, and so on. So they're just going to want to, you know, go with the company who provides the information as easy as possible. With that said, I like also what he's doing here is, you know, he's saying, hey, thanks for contacting us. I'll send you a direct message, and then having a chat in the private message to negotiate a price. This gives them the opportunity to negotiate behind closed doors and try to get every customer in without, you know, causing problems for the future. Now, the one big place for improvement here, you know, if I'm looking at this post as a consumer, I'm going Nissan Versa, no 2019, and I'm seeing he replied, which is beautiful. But thank you for contacting us. I'll send you a direct message. Thank you. I apologize for the delay. I'll send you a direct message. Thank you for contact. I'll send you. You know, why not be more specific in these responses? Like Nissan Versa, no 2019. You know, hey Cameron. Hey. Cameron, thank you for the opportunity. I sent you a direct message about pricing for your Nissan Versa. Let Cameron know that, like, you paid attention to Cameron. You're not just sending a copy and paste response. It takes a couple seconds, but that not only sends a better message to Cameron, but it sends a better message to anybody reading this, showing what type of business you are and how much you care about your customers and how you personally respond, and it's going to be more encouragement for people to leave a review. And again, this is one ingredient to how people are going to judge your company overall, the bigger picture. So definitely personalized responses. Next thing is, where are you located? I'm located in Ogden. Now, you know, will you DM me with pricing? I need front windows for a 2018 F-150. Now, I'm located in Ogden. Now, certainly, Braden, you did answer Nick's question by telling him where you are located. However, really what he wanted to know was, what's your service area? So I'm located in Ogden, and I service all of whatever. And then the other thing you could guess would be he was interested in window tinting. So you could say, hey, I'm located in Ogden. I service all of so-and-so county. You know, what are you interested in getting tinted? Or you can say, hey, I sent you a direct message to discuss your tint needs. But try to anticipate the customer's next question and step, because sometimes they will respond to you. Sometimes they're not necessarily going to follow up, and you're going to want to anticipate it and respond to it first. Okay, so as we go down, 2017 Ford Focus hatchback, thank you for contacting us. I'll send you a direct message. Another opportunity to be specific and personal. So that's Facebook. Overall, the Facebook page looks great. I love what you're doing with the ads. You're obviously getting good results, and you did mention you got 25. You see in the comment, you said earlier today, you said, I did 25-mile range on a 5-day Facebook ad for $15, received about 10 leads. I mean, if you sell one of those 10, you're in good shape. If you sell one out of the whole 20, you're in good shape. Even if those 10 are just a learning experience for you, you're in good shape. Because the whole point is trial, error, moving forward, testing, learning, and always improving. So the last thing I want to jump into is Urban Tinting's Google Places listing. So when I search Urban Tinting in Ogden, Utah, I can get their Google local page, and I can see here, this is the name of their company. I have their phone number, add missing information, add hours. So the hours are missing from here. There's no reason the hours should be missing from here. Just none at all. Just add your business hours, add pictures, you know, it lets you post here, get a review. You're probably doing a very low volume, like low amount of tint jobs per week. So like you're taking time with customers. You know, let them know how important reviews are for you and for your company, and how that is the modern day word of mouth. And then send them links to your Google and Yelp page, making it easiest for them to leave you a review. So, so yeah, a lot of room for improvement on the Google Places page. Overall, you know, I think this is pretty reasonable start. You know, one thing I just want to note, if you're trying to, if you're not listed on all those listing sites that I mentioned earlier, you know, I brought up maybe 5 or 6 of them that we saw on the first page of the results, but there's probably like 100 of those listing sites out there. So if you want to get listed on those sites, there's a bunch of sites. There's a bunch of sites that you can pay to get listed on their one site, and then they put that listing across multiple sites. One of them is Yext. I like Yext a lot. It's about $500 for the year, maybe $600 for the year. And what that's going to do is Yext listings lets you create an account with them. You can go ahead and add pictures there. You can add your phone number, your address, your hours, and so on. And then it takes that information and it lists it over all of these different listing sites. So if you change your hours or whatnot, again, you just go into Yext, make those changes. If you want to add pictures, go in here, add the pictures. This is just a really good way. I know it's like $600 a year, but you know, you just see the value of coming up in multiple places on the first page of Google versus not, and you're going to get a huge return on that investment. So if you can swing that money, this is a really, 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 really great place to start. Yext is not the only one. It's just the one that I have experience with, the one that I like the most. So check it out. I have no affiliation with them. You know, I just know it works. That's it. So that is it to urban tinting. Before we move on, I want to do a congratulations to a few people. One being Matt Blackmer from Tint Stuff. He crossed 50,000 subscribers on YouTube this week, and I think that's absolutely huge. It's not only huge for Matt, I mean, as a personal accomplishment, but it's freaking huge for the tint industry. So you figure every one of his videos, every one of these people that subscribe was either a tinter that learned somebody or a consumer that found enough value to want to subscribe. So for people to find enough, for 50,000 people to find enough value in his tint YouTube channel to subscribe, I think it's undeniable the impact that he's making in the window film industry as a whole. So congratulations. Another thing that I want to point out is he is doing a new type of video format, which I think is absolutely awesome, super entertaining. I watched him this week, and what that format is he does like a live stream while he's tinting with a GoPro. I'd probably mount it on his head, and this is an example. This window tint.
We are doing 50% on that windshield there. So we have nice motorized step bars there. We have big ass fucking wheels. This thing's got a lot of.
And you can see he just goes through the entire live stream. This one was about an hour and just talks you through the process, shows you the prep, shows you everything, and like that's super, super entertaining. It just, you may not be able to conceive why it's entertaining. You have to watch the commentary and listen to the commentary, and you'll find out. Because I started watching this Dodge Ram, and like, you know, at the same time, like, I'd never really watched cars get tinted just like for fun, but I watched the entire video because it was super, super engaging and entertaining. So Matt's really doing something special on that YouTube channel. It shows us the subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, you definitely need to go over there. It's Tint Stuff. And that's it. The next thing, wanted to congratulate Bill and the Absolute Perfection window tinting team. Window Tint and Graphic team. They won the 2019 Window Film Magazine Top Dealer of the Year award. They so deserve to win that award. I believe it's not the first time they've won it. And you know, if you know anything about Bill, the way he runs his company, and about Absolute Perfection, like, you'll know why they won and why they deserve to win. It's one of the top 5 window film companies in the country every year. They're growing at an astonishing rate, and what's just so impressive about them is, you know, at least from the outside, is they seem to really have their systems in place. They seem to have a strong branding presence. They seem to have systems in place that award them these big projects across the country, different states, government projects, consumer projects, wraps, tinting, wall wraps, and just, you know, good job, Bill, and much success to you in the future. And so in the Film Benders Guild YouTube group. This is another YouTube group, not necessarily as big as some of the other ones we discussed, but this is a reason why you need to join all of them. This was a live stream that these three gentlemen did last night, which was absolutely entertaining, informative, and one that if you did not watch live, you need to get into the Film Benders group and watch it now. It is, what, maybe about an hour long, and about an hour and 12 long. And what I want to point out is this video earlier today, I don't see the view count right now, had about 300 views and about 300 comments. And the reason being, it was just such an engaging, such an informative video that you just couldn't help but comment, and it's just such a great place to be in there. So, you know, like as a tinter, whether you do auto tint, flat glass, definitely join the Film Benders Guild group and check out this live stream. You know, another just great place to watch some video and learn a few things from people who have been doing this for absolute decades. I think between the three of them, they have close to 80 plus years of combined experience. I think Ralph said he's been tinting since about 84 or 87, and yeah, I think it was just around 20 to 30 years each. So definitely check that out. And then lastly, Veloce Innovation puts out window film videos every week or two. Their last window film video was on how to market coming into the winter months with a $0 budget, focusing on like architects and the commercial side of things. I know they have a video lined up for this Thursday, so if you didn't like their page already, definitely check them out. Veloce Innovation, like the page, and check out the video Harry's putting out on Thursday. Also, always dropping knowledge. So that is it for today's Window Tint Wisdom. Thank you for watching. This one went a little longer. You know, definitely, if you'd like, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to, if you have any questions, if you'd like me to go over what I did today with Braden's website, if you want me to go ahead and do that analysis with your company, just leave it in the comments or shoot me a direct message. Be more than happy to take a look at your Yelp page, your online presence, your Google search results, your website, and so on, and give you any tips, tricks, best practices that I spot that you can implement. And that's it. You know, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I just want to applaud you making it past the hour mark, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.